We got us a corpse and cartridge occasion.
To the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about this Tekken Bloodline series once more. I did 2 videos already. The first one was about what happened to Jun Kazama. I was just talking about her story, tweets from Harada, and also just trying to clarify some things, because when it comes to Jun Kazama and Unknown, there is a lot of controversy and a lot of misinformation in there. So that video, I just wanted to try to clarify what happened to her and also what will happen next, whether that be in the series or that be in Tekken 8. I think both of those stories may actually work together, where the Bloodline series explains who Jun Kazama is and what she has done, possibly where she goes, and then Tekken 8 can be the story where she's reintroduced. Maybe Jin, or who knows, brings her back into the story to continue it. So I think they really could tie together, but that video was just what we know now, what happened now. The second video I did was about Leroy Smith. A lot of people were questioning, why is a Tekken 7 DLC character in a series based in Tekken 3? Now, I was reading through his story, and I was just reading through a lot of the information about Leroy Smith, breaking it all down, and I believe his story isn't really tied to Tekken 7. It doesn't say anything about Tekken 7 or the Iron Fist 7, Jin, none of that. When I read through his story, it seems specifically like he was like it was tied to Tekken 3. And that's what I think. The story we got for him is in fact his introduction into Tekken 3. And I would love to see how he sort of just develops in that universe, and also how he progresses into Tekken 8, because he most certainly will be there. I'm praying Jun Kazama is there. Paul Phoenix is a no-brainer. Now, today's video. The reason why I wanted to do this video is because, well, Paul Phoenix is kind of a good thing turned into a tragedy. I did a full breakdown of Paul Phoenix's story almost a year ago, July 13th, 2021. I went from Tekken 1 all the way to Tekken 7, and I just broke down his story, and it really was points in there where I was just scratching my head and kind of raging, because he started off so incredibly high, so incredibly good, but then he just transferred into this character that's a goofball who doesn't really accomplish anything. And I don't know if that's by mistake or if that's what the character truly is now. I want to see in this anime what happens to make Paul Phoenix that way. Now, before I get into the things that we actually know about Paul Phoenix, I want to show you guys a post from Reddit. This is just one that I took a quick screenshot of just to show like others' opinions than mine. I hope he's portrayed as American badass and not the clown version from T5 onwards. This is kind of what the community says about Paul Phoenix. Ever since, some say Tekken 3, some say Tekken 4, but he kind of just fell off. He's kind of a goofball. He doesn't really do much. And for him being so powerful and so cool, so iconic, you would want him to do more, right? Now, talking about the things we know about Paul Phoenix. Before Tekken even started, before Tekken 1, he fought Kazuya to a draw. There's no other character who can say that. That is a very big accomplishment. But then in Tekken 1 or 2, I believe, Paul Phoenix and Kazuya fought again. Now, this was after Paul Phoenix battled with Akuma, so I don't know if he was tired or drained or whatever, but he fought Kazuya, and that battle lasted, it says, for hours. And then after that, he did eventually lose. He was defeated by Kazuya. Now, my thoughts is, I wonder if, first off, will Paul Phoenix and Kazuya meet in the series? Will their paths cross? Will Paul Phoenix get a rematch? I know he's dying for it, but will he get it? 2, will their past battles be discussed? I'm pretty sure Paul Phoenix is going to have some animosity towards Kazuya, and you know Kazuya is going to be rubbing it in his face, right? So I think the potential there is definitely high. But when we focus on Ogre, the reason why I think Ogre is so important is because this was the pivotal moment that broke him as a character. I'll go ahead and read the story so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, and we'll break it down. It says, Paul went undefeated throughout the entirety of the third King of the Iron Fist tournament and was even victorious against Ogre. Paul Phoenix defeats Ogre. But it says, swelling with pride, Paul returned home. However, Paul's happy ending was short-lived. Unknown to Paul, Ogre morphed into his second form, True Ogre, and the tournament continued after he departed from it. Now, in the story breakdown, I was ripping on this. I was like, where is the referee? How do you walk, not only leave the arena where you're fighting, but you make it all the way to your home, presumably in New York, because that's where Paul Phoenix lives. So how do you go from Japan to New York without realizing the match is still going? Because the King of the Iron Fist is a global event, right? It's kind of like the Olympics. How does he not realize that Ogre gets back up, transforms, and the tournament continues? You know, that was one of the major things that I did not get with the story. And this series, I'm hoping, gives some clarity to that, because I want to see if the King of the Iron Fist tournament is actually brought up, if they're actually fighting in the tournament, because that would explain a lot. If Ogre is not in the tournament, because here's one thing that's interesting too. I always thought Ogre was some sort of alien creature, some unknown being, but Jun Kazama straight up calls him a demon.
Demon. Why are you here?
So I wonder, are they going to tie Ogre to the King of the Iron Fist tournament, or will they sort of retcon that and change it to where instead of him being a competitor in the tournament, he's just a demon who shows up and just starts going ape on people? And then maybe Paul Phoenix, he was victorious, he was undefeated in the tournament until he had to leave to defeat Ogre. I think that would better suit the story, and that would cut out all of the garbage plot holes. Have him in the tournament and then leave because either Jen needs him, King needs him, Leroy, something. He leaves, fights Ogre, defeats him, and then he's like, well, I'm going home. But then he morphs, then he gets up. And I don't know I still don't know how I feel about him being crushed, him being devastated. It says, although Paul asserted that he was the true champion of the King of the Iron Fist Tournament 3, few believed him. And even those that did eventually grew tired of his attitude. Friends and admirers slowly disappeared, and his dojo eventually went out of business from lack of students. One day, Paul came across a flyer announcing the King of the Iron Fist Tournament 4. Burning with desire to win the tournament, he decides to give it his all once again to prove that he is the one true champion. Once and for all, he had to win. So here's the thing. From this moment on, it's all downhill for Paul Phoenix. And two things. One, in Tekken 8, I want them to pick it back up. I don't want him to be this sad, mopey clown that everyone just points and laugh at. I want him to recover. He's been down and out for like 3-4 games now. When will he recover and rise up? I'm hoping this series, because in this series, this trailer, he looks like he's not playing any games. And I hope that attitude, that sort of persona carries into Tekken 8, because it really is, for him being one of the most popular characters in the game, it really is shocking to see how goofy he is, right? So I want to see his issues with Kazuya on full display, the past battles, the draw. I want to see if he used him fighting Kuma as an excuse why he lost. Maybe they talk about how their fight lasted for hours. I think that's hilarious. You fight someone for hours, not minutes, hours. But then also, when it comes to Ogre, I want to see if they change the story and also the impact that it has afterwards on Paul Phoenix, because I believe they still will have it to where he defeats Ogre, but then he transforms and get up. Because in the trailer we see it. We see Jun Kazama fighting the normal skinny Ogre, and then it shows Paul Phoenix, and what's crazy too, after it shows Paul Phoenix, it shows true Ogre, as if the prophecy is still there. True Ogre still rises and the battle continues. It's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds, but I just wanted to talk about this because I think it's very important that they get it right. And by the way, I'm not doubting them at all. The doubt has left the window. I think, first off, Netflix, I think they can do it. And Tekken, their story is pretty good already. That's why I was saying it in the other videos that I did like months ago, that Tekken is perfect for anime. I have so much faith in them. And Netflix, I just got done watching they have an anime called Super Crux. I just watched that. It's really good. Yeah, it has some flaws here and there, but something like that, but Tekken, I would love it. So I'm all in. I think this is going to be truly amazing. And I just wonder also what other characters will show up, because we have Paul Phoenix, Leroy, Jun Kazama, Jin, Kazuya, Heihachi, Ogre. That's 8 characters right there. Who else will be in? But that's it. I just want to talk about this and sort of share my ideas about this, because this is another, Tekken 3 really was a key moment in the game. And I understand perfectly why they decided to do a show focusing on this era, right? But that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.